Hey everyone, it's triplemangothreat, and today we're going over a less than $10 mono red deck. If you also want to be able to submit a deck, just comment below and you could be like this lucky commenter and have their deck tech chosen. Today we're going over Valduk, Keeper of the Flame for 2 and a red. It's a 3/2 human shaman. At the beginning of combat on your turn, for each aura and equipment attached to Valduk, Keeper of the Flame, create a 3/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste. Exile those tokens at the beginning of the next end step. So this deck is going to be primarily equipment and auras, and it's going to be awesome. Let's get right into it. As for the mana rocks, let's go over Seer's Lantern for 3 colorless. It's an artifact. We can tap it for colorless, or we can pay 2 and scry 1. Orazco Relic for 3 colorless. We can tap it for a colorless. Manalith for 3 colorless is an artifact. We can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Heraldic Banner for 3 colorless is an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, we're going to choose a color. Creatures of the chosen color are going to get +1/+0, so we're going to choose red. And we can also tap it for red. Explorer's Scope for 1 colorless is an equipment. We're going to equip it to one of our creatures, and whenever the creature attacks, we're going to be able to look at the top card of our library. If it's a land, we put it on the battlefield tapped. Pilgrim's Eye for 3 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, we're going to search for a basic land card and put it into our hand. Skittering Surveyor for 3 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, we're going to search for a basic land, put it into our hand, and then shuffle our library. There is a lot of equipment in the deck, but I won't be going over all of them, so a few I'm going to touch on are Bonesaw for 0 mana. We could equip it for 1 colorless, and it gives equipped creature +1/+0. Mirror Shield for 2 colorless. The equipped creature gets +0/+2 and has hexproof, and whenever a creature with Death Touch blocks or becomes blocked by this creature, destroy that creature. But more importantly, it's giving our commander hexproof. Shield of the Realm for 2 colorless. If a source would deal damage to equipped creature, prevent 2 of that damage, and we can equip it for 1 colorless. Usually I wouldn't recommend this card, but for this deck, we're going to be able to make a 3/1 elemental with haste, and it's going to be able to protect our commander just that much more. Another equipment I'm going to recommend is Witch's Eye for 1 colorless. We can equip it to one of our elementals or our commander. We can pay 1, tap, and scry 1. This is really going to help us get through the deck if we're too flooded with lands, or if we just need lands. It's going to help us be able to filter through our deck. So how do we draw cards in the deck? Well, let's start with Rogue's Gloves for 2 colorless as an equipment. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. We have Culling Deus for 2 colorless. It's an artifact we can tap to sacrifice a creature and put a charge counter on Culling Deus. We can also pay 1 to sacrifice it to draw a card for each counter on Culling Deus. Dragon Mantle for 1 red is an enchantment aura where we're going to enchant a creature. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Thrill of Possibility for 1 and a red is an instant. In addition to the spell, we're going to have to discard a card, but we are able to draw 2 cards. Tormenting Voice for 1 and a red. As an additional cost, we're going to discard a card and we get to draw 2 cards. Another great way to draw cards is Quicksmith Genius for 2 and a red. It's a 3/2 human artificer. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. As for some of the removal in the deck, we're going to start with Heartfire for 1 and a red. It's an instant. As an additional cost, we're going to sacrifice a creature or a planeswalker, and this card gets to deal 4 damage to any target. Destructive Tampering for 2 and a red. We get to choose one. We can destroy target artifact, or creatures without flying can't block this turn. Something I would recommend to do after combat is Barrage of Expendables for 1 red. It's an enchantment. We can pay a red, sacrifice a creature. Barrage of Expendables deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Makeshift Munitions for 1 and a red is an enchantment. We can pay a colorless, sacrifice an artifact or a creature. Makeshift Munitions deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Now some of the payoffs for casting a non-creature spell, we're going to start with Firebrand Archer for 1 and a red. It's a 2/1 human archer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Firebrand Archer deals 1 damage to each opponent. Reckless Fireweaver for 1 and a red. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, Reckless Fireweaver deals 1 damage to each opponent. Goblin Slide for 2 and a red is an enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay 1 colorless. If you do, put a 1/1 red goblin creature token with haste onto the battlefield. So the main point of the deck is to equip our commander with the most equipment and auras we can. So how do we win? Well, we win by overwhelming our opponents with so many elementals, and then we're going to boost them. Burn Bright for 2 and a red is an instant. creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Pursue Glory for 3 and a red. Attacking creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn, and it has cycling for 2 colorless. Trumpet Blast for 2 and a red is an instant. Attacking creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the $10 or less mono red deck tech. If you would like to see your deck tech chosen, comment below, and you can be like this lucky commenter. If you would like to support the channel, you can do this by giving the video a thumbs up, commenting below, or subscribing. If you'd like to further support this channel, please be sure to check out the merch, which includes t-shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies with an awesome logo. Or if you would like to purchase this deck, you can click the link below, or if you want any of the cards, you can also purchase them individually. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.